And hello to all friends, potatoes are with you. And today I'm going to show you how to make a very cool turtle farm in Minecraft 1.17. But before you start watching, be sure to subscribe to me and click on the bell so as not to miss new videos. To build this farm, you will need 4 stacks and 24 sand, 2 stacks and 22 building blocks, 64 fences of any kind, 2 steps, 40 stone colors, 40 glasses, 40 edge rods, 64 seed grass, 40 funnels, 40 hatches, 3 red stone blocks, 2 chests, 40 vines, 39 ordinary rails, 3 power rails, 2 buckets of water, and finally a trolley. And this is all that is needed for the construction of this company. True, you will need to bring any turtles there, but I think that you will have no problems with this. I advise you to place this company on a flat surface because it will be quite large. 40 blocks in length. Don't find any connection with our materials, and that's why I chose for myself such a flat place in the desert. Well, first of all, you will need to take your sand, as much sand as possible, all that you have, and build a platform. 40 by 7 blocks. Of course, it's pretty stupid to make a platform in the desert out of sand 40 by 7 blocks, but still, let me show you for clarity. Look, we put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 blocks here. And did as many as 39 more times, let's say in that direction. And here's what you should get. Then you take the building blocks, and with them you will need to enclose as many as 3 sides of this square, or rather a rectangle. That is, let's say I want to choose this side, let's also put it on this side and on the last third side. As a result, we are left with one side without a frame. And here you will need to do the following. This is to put first 1, 2, 3 for blocks here. We also do 1, 2, 3 for on the other side. Here, we retreat 1 block, so a cavity is formed here. And here we put the building blocks to the very end. But that's not all. After all, we are retreating another block here and putting up another line. Absolutely the same. Then we will need to take fences and put 2 blocks here once, and then we start to let the fence. Absolutely any, not necessarily made of stone bricks, you can use any at all. Here, we lead to the very end, then we turn around, and here we do not lead to the very end, but just as on the other side. In other words, you will need to put 2 blocks here. Then, we take the hatches, and go in from this side, and put them along the entire length, and be sure to open them. We do this so that the turtles do not understand what the holes are here. It's as if they will think here that this is a block, and, accordingly, they will step here, and eventually fall into a hole here. And here's what you should get. Then we will need to dig another block here. That is, we dig up all these 40 blocks of sand. And now, instead of them, we will need to put vines right under the hatches. Here, 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 and so on along the entire length. And it is important to take into account that you should have a liana placed on this particular block. If you put another additional vine on this side, it will be wrong. You will need to remove it. This may occur due to the fact that you just poke 1 vine twice. In other words, we are breaking and reinstalling the vine here, so that it is only on the left side. Then we go to the opposite side, and again go down here. It will be necessary to dig out another layer, already the final one. And instead of it, we will already put as many as 40 funnels, so that they all look at each other, not down anywhere, or in any other direction. Namely, look at this funnel, looks at this block, and then we continue so that they look at each other. So that, as you already understand, they all lead to one point, that is, there. And the final funnel. This is how it should work out for you. Then we fly to the other side, and here we will need to dig through several blocks, just to open access to these funnels. Let's make a little step here, and here we will have a double chest installed. Why double? So that it just holds as many items as possible. And from above, it would be necessary to close this whole thing somehow. But how do we do it? And this can all be done with the help of steps. Once and twice, so that the chest opens and no one passes through here. And this is how it will look from the outside. Then you will need to dig a little more, just not on the right, but already on the left. Dig out just 1 layer of sand. Then you can make yourself an endless source of water from 2 buckets, and finally pour buckets here, so that the blocks of water are exactly on top. And we fill in everything here. Then we do the same with the bottom. Then you need to do lighting. To do this, we go to this cavity here, where we will have just the same all these turtles to be, and put them here in the middle. That is, look once, 2 or 3 from here, we count down, and on the 4th here, we put a fence once and 2, and then just put a line of stone color on top. When we got to the other side, we put a fence here again once and twice, and then finally, the last block. Here's what you should get. You will need to put another line only from glass here, that is, here on the 2nd block, and we put 40 glasses here again, and we bring it to the opposite side. Then, we take the rods with the end, and put the line and the rods with the end under the glass here as well. Yes, there are quite a lot of them, of course, but there is no way without them. And finally we bring it to the opposite side. Then, It remains to do absolutely a little bit of action. It's you and I who take our rails, also a block, and a little bit of blocks are related, namely, we only need 2 blocks. We put a block of times here. Here we break the block. Here we put a growth block instead. We install an energy rail on this new block, and then we drive the rails. And somewhere in the middle, it's not necessary to do it clearly, but somewhere we have the middle here. We are breaking another block here, and putting a rest block. We are taking another energy rail to it, and then we are leading it almost to the end. Here we bring it to the last block. Here we break this sand, put a new block instead of it, an energy rail on it, and a final block here. Here we will ride with you on a trolley. Let's put it here right away. Then you will need to drive as many turtles as possible into this entire cavity here. Just the same, the efficiency of this farm will depend on them. How to do it? You can do this with the help of trolleys. Look, let's say you find a turtle. I'll just remember her with an egg. Let's say she's like this here on the shore. You just take any rails and make a roller coaster like this. That is, let's say you are driving here. Let's put the power rails on. Here, let's have such a block that powers it. Then I'll put the trolley here. In this trolley, you need to stuff this turtle here, and then you just drive the rails right up to it, so that it arrives in this aviary. That is, let's say you somehow do it like this. There are still steps, and your turtle will come from here. Let's imagine that we did it, and now we need to be careful not to hit this turtle, break the trolley. It's quite difficult to do this, but if you hit it right like that, then you will succeed. So I did it. So you will need to bring as many turtles here as possible. And then how do I activate this farm anyway? You just get on this trolley. Let's go there somewhere, so that we push off properly. Take as much sea grass as you can, and start feeding these turtles. Here's just clamping and PCM, and everything will work automatically for you. The truth rests on the fact that you may run out of sea grass, but you can safely form it for yourself. What are we doing ourselves now? We are going to make sure that they reproduce, lay eggs. From these eggs, naturally small turtles will hatch, and they will go to these rods of the edge. But they can't do that, because they will fall right into that hole. Then they will grow up and just suffocate in blocks. Yes, it's quite cruel, but still the farm will work because of this. When they suffocate, of course they will eventually die, and their hair will fall off them. But so you can just sit down here on the trolley, pinch the PCM, and go somewhere, let's say to drink tea. Let's get out of the trolley for now, and see what happened here. Here, they are all laying eggs like that. There are even 4 of them here. Here, by the way, you can also collect experience later. Well, let's imagine that they hatch a little turtle. I'm now so nappa at them here with the help of eggs. Here, they are still crawling small, eventually falling into this ditch, which we pulled out here. There he stands the trolley, and when they die, that is, they grow up and suffocate, then all the shot will gather and fall right into our chest. Of course, it will take quite a long time to wait. It's more likely that we will have an AFK farm. But let's still remember there he is from the bottom of the turtles, so that they suffocate, and still see how it will look like. Look, by the way, this turtle has already grown up and started to suffocate right on its own. Now her drop will drop out and fall into the funnels and go straight to the chest. Well, let's go in, and now there is the first shield. This farm, by the way, is very efficient and will bring you about 100 or more shields per hour. Well, there was a potato with you. Be sure to subscribe, like, write comments, and also click on the bell so as not to miss new videos.